What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Shop Talk, brought to you by me, inspired by Joy and Chad Wright. This is a series of videos that we do where I kind of shoot a little bit on some tools and some tips and some techniques that you guys might think are okay, but are not up to speed. And today I'm going to talk about a tool that if I don't see it in your shop, I know you're not serious about building guitars, okay? And that is an Arbor Press for frets. Specifically this one, but we're also going to talk about the StewMac one that you can see right here. Okay, so why is it that the Arbor Press is a tool that is necessary in your shop to be serious about building guitars, specifically anything with frets? Because by the time you get to the point where you're ready to press in frets, you have done, at the very least, some work. In the case of this neck, you've done just about everything that you're going to do to the neck before it's ready to glue into the body. So this one is let's see. So we have a nice African Blackwood fretboard that's slotted. It's bound with maple. The neck profile is done. The headstock is done. Everything is sanded. This neck has actually been fit to the guitar. In fact, you can see the serial number there. So this one's ready to go into the guitar, and it will get very, very little work done to it before it gets glued in. Okay, so you can imagine now that if you goof this neck up, you've wasted a lot more time than just goofing up frets. So the fretboard is the fret slots are done. I've chased the fret slot tops with this little file here, this 3-corner file. The reason I do that is because I want my frets to seat properly. I don't do that because I'm providing a courtesy to the guy who's going to refret this in 50 years. I don't care about that guy. I got all my frets are cut, and they're cut to size, and I've undercut for the binding, and I'm ready to install the frets. Now, if you do all that work and then you pick this hammer up, or worse, another hammer from Home Depot, and start bashing them in, I do not take you seriously. Okay? Not because it can't be done. Okay? It's not because it can't be done. It's just it takes a lot of skill to do this evenly and to tap your frets in with this hammer. The people at Gibson, so someone in the comment section is going to say this. Well, I've seen those ladies at Gibson bashing in frets, and they got a hammer and they bash it in, and the hammer also has a nipper on it. They bash the frets in and nip them off. Yeah, maybe. Those ladies have been doing it for years, and they're really, really good at it. They do, I don't know, 200 necks a day. I'm just guessing. Let's say they do 100 necks. Let's say they do 20 necks a day. Let's say they do 10 necks a day. It's way more than that, but that's a lot more than a small builder does. So you do not have time to get good at this, at using this tool. And that's why the Arbor Press is a better option for you, okay? I suppose that if you were doing 200 necks a day and you had this hammer, I'd have to shut my big fat mouth. But if you're watching this video, I know for a fact you don't do 200 guitars a day. So I'm not going to shut my big fat mouth. But what I am going to do is I'm going to tell you that if you don't have an Arbor Press, you're doing it wrong, okay? Now, the other thing I'm going to tell you is that you should still have one of these because they still come in handy, but not for installing frets. That's a video for another day, okay? I don't even like to use these to kind of tap in the frets right before I press them in, okay? So, but I do have one of these hammers. Actually, I have lots of these hammers floating around. They're good tools. They're not what you think they are for, in my opinion. Says me. Okay, so what do you do then? Well, I'm glad you asked. What we want to do is we want to install the frets with even pressure all the way across the fret slot, and we want to do every single one the same. Now, some people have asked me, why don't we build in a stop in the Arbor Press? I'm probably getting a little ahead of myself here. Let's put a pin in that and come back. So let's move the camera a little bit, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm ready to actually press these frets in, and the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of glue for my frets. We used to use we've used all kinds of glue. What we like these days is StewMac's number 20 super glue. It flows out really easily, and it's kind of it's not quite a gel, but it's fairly thick. All right, so I'm going to try to do this without blocking the entire camera here. I have to move the camera one more time. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little glue in this fret slot, and I've got my loop on so that I get it right in the old slot. And I just made a mess. Okay, ain't no thing. We're going to wipe that clean. So now I'm going to get my fret and just kind of put it in. And that's all I'm going to do. Then I'm going to go over to my Arbor Press and move the camera one more time. I'm going to pick the whole thing up, and I'm going to press this fret in with my Arbor Press. And you can feel it seat, okay? Just press it in there and you'll feel it bottom out. When you feel it bottom out, don't keep pressing, okay? But if you don't feel it bottom out, you probably didn't press hard enough, okay? All right, now we'll pull the whole gobbledygook off. Let me move the camera one more time. Wipe off any excess glue. Okay, and then we'll put our loop on and we'll have a look. Make sure we're properly seated, and that fret looks great. The other nice thing about this fret is it's not deformed by bashing it with a hammer. You definitely don't want to use this brass side to tap in frets. You want to use the plastic side, says me, but I actually say no, you don't want to use any of that stuff. So this is a perfectly installed fret. Now all we have to do is do it 21 more times. Okay, let me show you some more. Okay, I got my number 20 glue here. Is the camera going? Yep, okay. And I got my number 20 glue. I can do several at a time. I'm just going to wick some glue right into the slot there. I used to say that glue wasn't necessary. I have since changed my mind. Now I believe that since there's no penalty in using glue, why wouldn't you use it, right? It just takes a little bit more time, but the end result is superior, and it's definitely the thing to do. Okay, I got, let's do 4. That's a pretty good number. And I'm going to come over here to my sled, and I think you guys can still see me. I'm going to press these frets in, line up my Arbor Press. I'm going to press it down until it seats, and then I'm going to stop. And then I'm going to go to the next one. Press it down until it seats. I like to hold it for just a moment. I don't know why. It's probably a bit of a superstition. You can feel them. You can feel them stop. You know what I mean? And just use the same amount of pressure, same technique on every one. Go until they stop, and you'll have perfect little lovelies there. Okay? All right, let's talk a little bit about these Arbor Presses and what they do exactly. Let me take the camera off the tripod and we'll zoom. Okay, so this tool here is my very first Arbor Press. It's a bit of a shop-made Arbor Press. The press itself came from Harbor Freight. Yes, it did, and it has been providing yeoman service for over 15 years. What I did was I had to drill a hole in this block right here. Let me see if I can get. Okay, so I had to drill a hole in this block to accept this this StewMac fret press call. That I was able to just buy this assembly and the calls individually from StewMac. I still think you can. Having said that, I think that if you wanted to not build one, you could just buy this one from StewMac. And let's get this guy out of the way here. So you can see here, it actually is the StewMac one. I did pay for this one. This is, you can see it's a little bit different size. It's a little smaller. It's got some cool features. One, it's got a spring-loaded handle. So if you let go, it doesn't come crashing down into the guitar neck. This one here has, it's just, once this handle gets going, it's just gonna fall. So the StewMac tool is definitely a good tool. It comes with the Arbor Press. It comes with the this call here and the block and one call. I think you get one with it, and you can buy lots of different ones. You can get, you know, whatever radius you're working on. You can also buy this and put it in your drill press if that's, you know, I mean, if you say, well, you know what, Matt, I got enough money for a drill press or an Arbor Press. Well, then just get this little tool, get this piece from StewMac and put it in your drill press and use that. That'll work great. So yeah, a fret press is considerably more a consistent fret installation than you get with a hammer. And yeah, and if you do this correctly, you won't have to spend a bunch of time leveling and dressing frets, which is absolutely super cool. All right, so as you can see, I've got a bunch more fretting to do on this Challenger neck. I don't even know whose this is, but someone's going to want this, and I better get back to work. So I've got a lot more frets to go. But guys, if you're wondering, you know, can you get away with a fret hammer? No, I'm just going to say it. No, you can't. Get one of these presses, or at the very, very least, get one of these calls and put it in your drill press and use that as your Arbor Press, or get an Arbor Press and just leave it set up all the time. That's what we do. We've got a couple, 3 of them floating around. They're all basically set up to ready to go for all of our Challenger necks, all of our American Icon necks, and of course all of the student necks for the guitar building workshops, where you do all your own fretwork. Okay, you don't get a neck that's fretted. Okay. So anyway, gang, thanks for hanging out with us for another episode of Shop Talk, and hope you have a great week. We'll see y'all next time, and remember, if you're so smart, start your own YouTube channel. That's what I did. We'll see you guys around. Take care, everybody.